Good morning again. Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And this is going to be a fairly complex idea that I think a lot of people kind of struggle to understand. It's not a brand new one, but I'm going to hopefully make it understandable here in just a moment. So it has to do with evolution and the mercies that are entailed by this process. And it's sad and funny sometimes that people currently still don't believe in evolution. They don't understand the discovery. They don't recognize it and agree with it when it's measurable. It's obvious, and the process is real. And it was largely advanced and recorded and documented by Charles Darwin back, I believe, in the 20th century, early 20th century, or maybe before. I'd have to check my dates. But he he didn't invent it. He didn't create it. He observed it and recorded it. He actually went out on some very pointed missions to understand what speciation is about. What is the basis, if any, for the origin of species? That's the name of his book, his big famous book. And long story short, he made some very important, accurate discoveries and kind of cracked open the case and discovered some things known as survival of the fittest, whereby proper or better, superior genes are advanced because they work, and there's an entire process and machinery that prunes undesirable traits, for lack of a better way to say it. Now, this pruning, I want to talk about this. It is not accidental. It is very much tied to the environment. It's tied to what works, and you can imagine that if a person, say a human being, were to decide willy-nilly to add features to the human form, the odds are those features would have, at the very least, some unexpected and uncertain consequences for the creature that possessed them. Here's the problem. Now, evolution involves chance, a great deal of trial and error. Natural selection was the terms he used, and it is not very quick. It's not a super fast process, although it can have immediate changes, from one generation to the next. And the thing is, of all of the features that a human being might design or add to something, almost none of the things that a human being could come up with would be entirely helpful or sustainable or productive in a realistic, practical sense. The things that we have, whether we understand their function or not, such as eyes and ears and the physiology that a human being has, as well as the specialized physiology of every species of creature on Earth, was not an accident. It was not an intentional individual's design either, but it arose from a very long, meticulous process where all the stuff that was a deal breaker, so to speak, before some creature was able to reproduce, that caused it so much dysfunction that it was not able to get to that stage, was removed. It is pruned mercifully. Here's the word, mercifully, because there are diseases. Consider all of the genetic diseases that we now know about. There's, thousands, if not millions of them, right? There's lots and lots of diseases, and there are way more diseases now than there used to be. Back when people were living closer to the land without the conveniences of technology, medical science, and all of the things we now take for granted, you didn't make it past, an age of reproduction if there was a show-stopping disease anywhere in your body. It was short, it was brutish, and it was also merciful because that disease was not carried forward. That disease was not introduced into the gene pool. And there's a very distinct hazard here. As an aside, I just want to connect this idea that um, it is not for people to invent things necessarily, just as it is not for people to try to seek out and judge what they consider to be um, unsavory or toxic characteristics, unless it's something that is, obviously and demonstrably terrible and having a disastrous effect on a person or a group of people. So I've just cautioned people to check their arrogance. Here's my point. My point is that people are so arrogant. We think that we're in control. We manage our environment. We manage ourselves and our population. We manage everything, and we believe that if there is a problem, we will solve it or else. It's for things like design, physiological design. No person, no agency or business or group of people or any human process is qualified to make those decisions. It is only by the rigorous and merciful chance of evolution that things can be proven in the crucible of fire that they are healthy, productive, and sustainable. And not agonizing. Okay, so here's like the big thing, and I will. I'm just over 6.5 minutes. This idea that I'm discussing right now is from recent developments in molecular biological sciences, where they have scientists and medical professionals have become able now to synthesize small brains and nervous systems, and they're already doing lab testing on mice. It is, I've heard talk about, it is desired and planned to advance this testing and design practices into laboratory monkeys, with the expectation that people themselves will eventually benefit from these sciences. I want to be clear about something here. The only possible form that this science of engineering a nervous system and a brain is going to possibly entail is that there will be some creative license by some doctor or engineer playing God, and it will be without the rigors and mercy of evolution. It will be without the natural selection of a time-tested design that takes millions of years. It will be shooting from the hip at the best. It will be creating something that wasn't meant to be, and will only result in something either asymmetrical. I mean, not that everything has to be symmetrical, but even our symmetry, our external basic symmetry is not accidental. Very few things. Just because we don't have an immediate explanation for the way things are. I mean, okay, so take this for example. What's this? This is an ear. Tell me, think about the function of the ear. Who designed the ear? Does it have a function? Was it random? Turns out there was a reason for it, and it is not common knowledge. Ask your doctor, why is the ear shaped like it is? And if your doctor can't tell you that because millions of prepubescent children died from insect bites inside their ear canal before human beings developed this shape to keep the insects out, then they are not qualified to dabble in physiological design and improvisation. They do not have the wherewithal, the insight, the experience, and the authority to create or destroy designs of genetics. It is unsupportable. Last thing I want to say, I'm 9.5 minutes. Last thing I want to say is the role of chance and the elimination of chance, the cost and the consequences of eliminating chance from human processes in general, and especially human reproduction. Chance is a godsend. Chance can do what a person would do if they were in charge of the process of, for example, evolution, without the need for blaming, without the need for guilt or prosecution, leveling criminal charges, because it would be criminal for a person to, say, design something terrible and create a person with that design. That would be criminal. But chance will take that burden from you. Chance will allow such designs that happen on their own by way of random mutation to fall out of the gene pool like they're supposed to, without the need to blame somebody for it. Chance will shoulder that burden for you. It's not for you. It's not for a doctor. It's not for a medical establishment or an entire culture to decide what's good and what's bad in terms of physical design. Check your arrogance. It's not for you. And embrace chance. You could win something. It's not supposed to be even and equal all the time. There's supposed to be a little bit of uncertainty. It's very important. So reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.